Welcome to the Blue Ridge Dragon. Short horror stories. Things that will keep you up at night and make the hair on the back of your neck stand. This is Leonard Rich telling you a story. A little segment from Rainy Shortcut. Enjoy. Controlling the car on the wet, curvy road was more difficult than he had thought it would be. The rain poured and the lightning flashed all around the speeding car. The thunder sounded like crashing boulders hitting the ground, which shook the car on the road. James Tedwell felt the thrill of the ride and the joy of feeling nature fight against him. Sitting next to him in the passenger seat was a slender woman of 35. Her shoulder-length hair was blonde and curly. He loved the way her hair moved when she was mad at him. No matter what she did, he loved to watch her like someone admiring art. "Slow down, James," she said worriedly. "Don't worry, Terry. I know what I'm doing," James said with a half smile, still feeling the thrill of possible danger. The road was pitch dark from no streetlights, and the rain was pouring like a waterfall on the windshield of the car. The rain made it more difficult to see the road up ahead as James strained to see where he was going. The wind pushed against the car, making it harder to drive as the storm tested James' ability to drive Mother Nature's obstacle course. "James, slow down," Terry said, very concerned, as fear showed in her eyes. "Terry, please be quiet," he said, looking at Terry beside him. Suddenly, Terry screamed as the car crashed into a pile of branches that were laying in the middle of the road. Luckily, James was wearing his seatbelt, which kept him from smashing into the steering wheel. Terry wasn't that lucky, as she crashed into the dashboard with force that made her groan from the impact and the pain in her head. She rubbed the big knot on her forehead as it began to swell and began to turn red. "I told you to always fasten your seatbelt. You could have been killed," James warned, unbuckling his seatbelt. "And I told you to slow down," shouted Terry, holding her forehead as if her hand could make the pain go away. James ignored her complaining and attempted to push against his door as hard as he could. The door only opened halfway from all the branches that were in the way. He looked out the door, getting soaked from the rain, and noticed that the car was halfway over a tree's trunk. James sat back in his seat and sighed heavily. He had done this thinking he was a young thrill-seeker and not the older man he had become. They were stuck, and Terry was not going to be happy. "Is it that bad?" Terry asked. "Yes," James said, depressed. He looked through the windshield at his surroundings, and it was dark and gloomy, and only the lightning gave a little light in the dense forest around them. "There should be a house or a store on this road," said James, hoping there was a place somewhere close. "We've been traveling for an hour, and we had not passed a house or anything on this road," Terry said angrily. "What makes you think there is a house or store out there? That was a stupid thought. Even more, a stupid shortcut. How can you be so stupid?" "Terry, will you shut the hell up?" James shouted, feeling frustrated and helpless. Then, suddenly, a furry hand smashed through Terry's side window. The hand grabbed her and pulled her through the window. She didn't even have time to scream or shout when red blood splattered the car's passenger side. As this happened, James made a dead run from his seat, forced his car door open. He ran into the forest as fast as he could go, which seemed to be for hours. The rain poured harder, the lightning flashed brighter, and the thunder roared louder. James then turned his head for one quick look and saw green glowing eyes coming toward him. Turning away in fear and pure fright, he ran through the bushes and branches in the thick forest. Looking back again, the green eyes seemed to be getting closer, and the roaring screams growed louder. Not watching where he was going, James tripped down a small hill. He then rode to a dead stop into a small stream created from the storm. He looked up the hill in panic-stricken horror as the green eyes slowly moved closer and closer. He tried to get out of the stream in a heart-pounding fright, but he couldn't seem to get out of the muddy water. His feet kept slipping and sliding as he held onto some roots to keep him steady. But then James felt something breathing on his neck, and as he turned to find two green eyes staring inches from his face, the creature opened its mouth wide, full of razor teeth, and screamed madly at him. If you want to read more of this scary story, then you must go and purchase the book Pathways into Darkness. 8 short horror stories that will make your skin crawl and your mind go into madness. This is Leonard Rich from the Blue Ridge Dragon. Say, sweet nightmares.